Scholars, it's Miss Dunn. Today we're going to be doing math together, and this year we've been practicing measuring the length of an item, how long or how short it is, measuring the volume of an item, how much capacity it can hold, and also measuring the weight of an item, how heavy or light it is. So today we're going to be practicing measuring a weight of an item, and we're going to play a game together where we can play together right now, and then afterwards I'll share with you the materials that you'll need to play this game on your own. So right now the materials that I'm going to be using to play this game is a dice, some small counters that I found around the house. It could be pennies, counters, and I found some marbles I'm going to be using today. And then any other items that you want to measure the weight of around. So the first one I found is a stuffed animal, a bear, and I'm going to be measuring the weight of this bear, or how heavy or light it is, with some quantity of marbles. I'm going to figure out how many marbles I'm going to be measuring and comparing it with the bear by using my dice. So I'm going to roll my dice. Great, it landed on 5. There's 5 dots right there. So I'm going to be measuring the weight of this bear with 5 marbles. And because I don't have a scale at home that we use to measure the weight of 2 items, I'm going to be using my hands and pretending that my hands are both of the buckets on the scale. So figuring out how heavy or light it is by feeling the weight of these in my hands. And it feels like this bear, it has more weight or is heavier than the 5 marbles that's in my other hand. And I know that if these items were in a scale, I'd be looking at the bottom of the buckets. The one bucket that's lower to the ground has more weight, so I know this one's heavier. The bucket that's higher has less weight and is lighter. So now that I know that a bear is heavier than 5 marbles, we're gonna record it together. So we're gonna record it using pictures, words, and also some math symbols using the greater than, less than, or equal sign. So first, we're gonna draw and label a bear with 5 marbles. So we're gonna do our best because that's what matters. It does not have to be perfect. As long as our readers know our thinking. So there's my bear. We're gonna stretch out the sounds in that word. Bear, bear. And then I'm gonna draw my 5 marbles. 3, 4, 5. And then label it 5 and the word marbles. M-R-B-O's. Marbles. Great. So now I'm going to use my math symbols, greater than, less than, or equal to show which item has more or less weight. Since I know that our bear has more weight, we're going to use this symbol, the greater than symbol. So when I read it, it sounds like bear has more weight than 5 marbles. Great. So now we're going to do this again with another item that you find around you. So another item I have is a pen. So I'm going to be measuring the weight of this pen with some quantity of marbles. Remember that again, we're going to use our dice to figure out how many marbles we're going to compare it with. Great. So I see that the dice has 4 dots. So I'm going to be comparing the weight of this pen with 4 marbles. Again, we're going to use my hand to measure the weight and compare the weight of these 2 items. And it feels like my pen has less weight or is lighter than my 5 marbles. So now we're going to record that. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to draw a picture, we're going to label it, and then we're going to use a math symbol to show our thinking. So I'm going to draw a picture of a pen. We're going to label it. Pen, and then 4 marbles. 2, 3, 4. Write the numeral 4 and the word marbles. 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 Great. Because I know that my pen had less weight or was lighter, I'm going to be using this symbol, the less than symbol. So if I read it, it would sound like my pen has less weight or is lighter than 4 marbles. Great, now let's do it again. So another item I found around my house is my Seahawks mug. So I'm going to be measuring the weight of this mug, how heavy or light it is, with some amount of marbles. Let's roll our dice again. Oh, okay. So it landed on 6. You see 6 dots there. So I'm going to be comparing the weight of this mug with 6 marbles. Putting both of my hands to measure the weight, to feel how heavy or light both of them are. Oh, and it definitely feels like this mug has more weight or is heavier, and these 6 marbles have less weight and is lighter. So if they were on a scale, it would look just like this. So now let's record our findings. So we're gonna do the same thing again. We're gonna draw a picture, do the best that we can, because that's what matters. And then label mug, mug. And then we had 6 marbles that we're comparing it to. So I'm gonna draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marbles. Write the numeral 6 with a curve and a little curve, and then the word marbles. M-R-B-O-S, marbles. Great, now we're using the math symbol, greater than, less than, or equal to. Because we know that our mug has more weight than the 6 marbles, we're gonna put the greater than symbol. So if we read it, it sounds like a mug has more weight or is heavier than 6 marbles. Great, thanks for playing that game with me, scholars. So now I'm going to share with you the materials that you're going to need to play this game on your own. There's 5 materials. The first one is something to write on. The second is something to write with. The third material is all the items that you want to measure the weight of. It could be stuffed animals like this, utensils, maybe games, really anything that you want to measure. The fourth item is a dice. It could be a dot dice, a numeral dice, and if you don't have dice, that's no problem. You can use little pieces of papers with the numbers 1 to 6 on them, and then just pick one of the numbers as you're choosing the quantity. The last item you're going to need is something small. It could be marbles like we played today, or it could be like pennies or other coins. Anything small that would work for this game. I hope you have fun, scholars, and if you want to share your findings with your teacher, send a video or a picture. We'd love to see it. Have a great day. Bye.